What's up, guys? Your boys are back. I'm Ryan, my man George.
Yeah, what's up, guys? How you living out there? Shout out to the free thinkers, and of course, shout out to everybody that's been following us on our Instagram, Def to Radio, DEAF2 Radio, and make sure you guys follow us on our website, deftoradio.com. It's a members website, just people just exploring music and loving music. The link for that, of course, will be in the description. We have our, of course, the site is free for everyone, but we do have our exclusive membership where you guys will have access to, eventually we're going to start doing album reviews. So perhaps God Save the Streets, because we're doing Avelino today. Maybe we can do an album review there, whatever the case may be. Maybe. And we're going to maybe be doing lives and, you know, just switching it up a little bit. And I think that's a good way to support the channel. So make sure you guys check out that information regarding Def to Radio in the description.
And as always, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Make sure it's set to all so you get all of our videos as they drop. Up and coming artists, you know what to do, man. Click the link in the description. We'll do about 60 seconds of your song in the front of one of our up and coming videos to get you some exposure, man. Dude, you guys know how we give it up with Avelino, man. We did the Daily Duppy freestyle. What was that? A couple months ago, I think it was.
And he got busy.
And he did get busy. And he was talking like this album was going to be the shit. So I'm very excited to get into this song, man.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that this is his debut album.
Yeah,
like we've known of Avelino for years now, so it's just surprising to hear that. I'm like, wait, debut? I guess he's had projects maybe, and he's been on songs that we've done, but we didn't know that he's been doing his thing for a while. So the fact that this is his debut is wild. So man, make sure y'all support UK dudes that get busy, that put their heart and soul into their craft, man. I think that he's a great representative for the UK rap scene. So I'm excited about this. Y'all know we rock with Av. God Save the Streets is the album. Just came out on April 14th, so it's still fresh out. So we chose God Save the Streets. We chose the name of the album, the song that is the same name of the album. So let's get into it. Part 1, by the way.
I became a successful criminal, but amounted to nothing. Do you understand? I never actually became anything but a successful criminal.
I see the streets.
I told Big Bra ringing back. Yeah, he's in the can still. Skip school rolling with straps like it's Nashville. And there's no taking it back. I've got his back still. I've seen the realest ones get sectioned off, and that's mad real. Mental health is real up in the hood, but no one talks about it. Kill or be killed, and even runners never walk without it. Trying to get through to the kids, so I got them all around me, but they still roll with automatics and their automatics.
Yeah,
bang,
so
bang, and that
stop right there.
And that
right
beat
now.
is hard.
And the beat is hard. Shout out. Yeah, let's talk about it. 2FVDED. I'm sure that's like a way to say that, but 2FVDED and
To
GX.
vet it.
To vet it?
To vet it, right?
Vet it.
That's what it looked like.
Yep,
Yeah,
to
to
vet
vet
it. Shout out to the production team on this. The way them drums came in. Hot.
Yeah, man. Yep. Mental health is real up in the hood, but no one talks about it. So true. Kill or be killed. Even the runners never walk without it. Not walk without that thing, you know. Kill or be killed.
But even runners never walk without it. He's talking about drug runners, right? So it's a play on walking and running. But even the drug runners never walk without it, the gun. You know what I'm saying? They keep it on them. That play was slick as hell.
Then he said, I tried to get through to the kids, but they still roll with automatics in their automatics.
In their cars, though.
Yep.
Right? He said an automatic vehicle, but the automatics in the automatic vehicle. This line when he said olders don't give him no guidance, are they his guys, though? I thought that was super, super dope and deep. Right? Because he's talking about the OGs. Like when you come up in the hood, there's the older guys, even sometimes they're the kids and they're the OGs, but the older guys on the block that are in the streets. And then there's the young guys coming up, the ones with the automatics and they automatics. They typically look to these older guys for guidance, right? But they don't give them guidance. Obviously, they steer them closer to the streets. They steer them the wrong way. But these kids are under the false impression that these older guys that they look up to have their best interests. So he's like, are they really his guys though? You know what I'm saying? They're not giving him guidance. They're guiding him, but they're guiding him the wrong way. So guiding them the wrong way. I just thought that was a really dope line. Let's keep it going though, man. But you know, as expected.
Mental health is real up in the hood, but no one talks about it. Kill or be killed, and even runners never walk without it. Trying to get through to the kids, so I got them all around me, but they still roll with automatics and their automatics. Bang, bang, another man's down on the high road. Never had skies letting it sky though. Now he's writing letters in pen with a biro. shoulders, don't give him no guidance. I date his guys though. Guy full size trap line was blowing up. He let his dog run it for him, now the cat's old enough. He's thinking about fucking up his brethren, cause he's fucking up. He's trying to get his money up instead of playing money up. I've seen the same story like a million times. They go down for stupid money, you're the silliest crimes. I did F with my Killy and my Killian striker. No trace, no case, I'm bringing a flag. Cause you can't trust a soul out there. Cup full of spirits, cause there's no soul out there. Went from boys to men, the end of the road's out there. Can't be in pole position without a pole out there, yeah. Shotters and shooters, where the prep with the shoot fits.
You can't be in pole position without a pole out there? Man. He does get momentum.
Yeah,
he really
does.
does. He gets momentum, man.
So when he said, you can't trust a soul out there, man, I feel like that's kind of playing on what you touched on earlier. Like, dude, you look to the OGs, but are they really your guys? Do they really have your best interests in mind? Probably not, because there's no, you can't trust a soul out here. You can't trust nobody. It's every man for themselves because it's a grimy game, right? And when he says a cup full of spirits, I mean, obviously that's a drink, right? That's another name for alcohol. Right? But I feel like he means all the people that have died on the streets too, because it's a street cup full of spirits. But I feel like, you pour liquor, that could be a stretch. You pour liquor out for the OGs that are not here no more. I feel like he could be saying that as well, because there's no soul out here. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers die senselessly. I think he said that earlier in the verse too, talking about people, die or go to jail for the silliest crimes and shit like that. So I feel like that is him kind of painting that picture of like, dude, this is what it really looks like. And then when he said go from boys to men, we train these kids from young to men. We start them out young just to get to the end of the road, which is another Boys to Men song, to die out here.
Like you said, Boys to Men made the song End of the Road. And getting back up to that spirits line, I think it's also, Ryan, that it's a way for people to cope. You know what I'm saying? When they say it's no soul, like cup full of spirits, they're drinking to cope with the fact that the streets are cold and you can't trust the soul.
Yep.
So you have a cup full of spirits, and obviously there's no soul. A soul is a spirit. There's the wordplay, right? But also alcohol is a spirit, right? They call alcohol spirit. So I just think that that's super slick. He said his trap line was blowing up. He let his dog run it for him. Now the cat's on him enough. He's thinking about fucking up his brethren because he keeps fucking up. He's trying to get his money up instead of playing money up. So that whole section right there was essentially just him talking about how dude is getting money selling drugs, and his man who's underneath him in the streets, right? He's selling drugs for him. His man fucked his money up, right? His man that's supposed to be selling the drugs and then giving him his cut, he didn't do well, basically. He did a terrible job, let's just say, right? And now he's thinking about fucking his brethren, his brother up, instead of playing money up. So I think by playing money up, instead of trying to lift him up, you know what I mean? He's caught up in his mentality like, I'm with kill or be killed. I don't give a fuck if you're my family or not. God saved the streets in that the mentality, the dysfunction that comes along with that, right? You're willing to turn your back on your family. You're willing to hurt somebody, hurt your brother over something that is counterproductive to what matters in life. So I thought that was interesting because it'll make you turn your back on your brother. This street shit is cold-blooded. There's no soul. There's no spirit, man. I'm about to fuck my own brother up instead of helping my brother, right? Instead of playing money up. I think that's what he meant by playing money up.
You can't be in pole position without a pole out here. You know what I mean? So what he's talking about, there's a couple different things. The pole is another word for a gun, right? But to be in pole position in a race, that's the most
sought after place,
right? Because that's the place where you earn it based on like qualifying times and all this other shit. But basically, you want to be there to overtake the race. You want to be in that number one position. But in order to get there, you got to earn it. And what he's saying, to earn your stripes and to get in pole position is you got to kill or be killed. But it's hard to do that if you don't have a gun out here. If you don't even really have a pole, you know what I mean? You really can't get there. So you got to kind of do grimy shit just to get in pole position to be successful out here. Going back to the beginning of this song, he said that only thing I know is only thing I've ever amounted to is to be a successful criminal. I think is what he said, something like that. He's like, my life really didn't amount to nothing, but I'm a successful criminal.
I feel like we're breaking it down, but I just want to let me just wrap it a little bit for you, man. That whole section, because you can't trust a soul out there, cup full of spirits, because there's no soul out there. Went from boys to men, into the roads out there. Can't be in pole position without a pole out there. The way he rapped that, right? Because we're just breaking it down, but it's the fluidity in that and just the back to back to back, the backness of it was super hard. Salute, man. Crushing it. Let's keep it going.
Can't trust a soul out there. Cup full of spirits, cause there's no soul out there. Went from boys to men, the end of the roads out there. Can't be in pole position without a pole out there, yeah. Shotters and shooters, wear the crepe if the shoe fits. Ride out some pedals or the scooters. Kicked out his yard and I was doing a booting. Do what you gotta do, but no, you ain't gotta do this. Disconnect from the matrix. But there's no oracle in the ends or saviors. Niggas don't know they're God in the flesh, brother. All these jewels came with the same chain of events. Yeah. No grind, no shine, when it's gotta take risks, but we had to risk our lives. Ducking no bills, still had to build a line. Most man, they tried to make it out, ended up inside. Married to the game, so forever hold your peace. And if you move weight, then that's major key. And these are psalms that our story made us read. I said a prayer in my head, it was God save the streets. God save the streets.
Together well, man.
Yeah. God save the streets.
Sweet land of liberty, international law.
God save the streets. God save the streets. Yeah.
Femoral artery got punctured in 3 places. Right, punctured in 3 places, and I'll show you the scars. You can see it all because I've got the photos and the X-rays. And I never bled. I never passed out. I rung my own ambulance. Do you understand? And I was fully awake.
Do what you gotta do, but just know you don't have to do this. He's all disconnect from the matrix.
Hard.
But there's no oracle in the end or saviors.
That was so hard.
Right? When you are presented with certain circumstances in your life, man, I know he's talking about street shit, but just in general, man, I think that there's a code of honor that I think we should all live by. You know what I'm saying? Morals and just dignity that you should just uphold. Because, I mean, if you don't, I mean, what separates you from, the animals? I feel like that's what he's saying there. Like, do what you gotta do, bruh. But just understand that there's other options. You ain't gotta do this. You don't have to, kill or be killed, so to speak. You know what I mean? And when he said disconnect from the matrix, it's kind of like in line with what we say, free thinkers, you know what I'm saying? Disconnect from just what is the status quo, what's the popular route to go, kind of carve your own lane and kind of question things and really kind of see things for the way they are. Disconnect from what you think is supposed to be the right way to go, what everyone says is the right way. And then when he said there's no oracle, remember the oracle from the Matrix would kind of give Neo, right, would give Neo kind of guidance, right? You know what I'm saying? There is no guidance. There is no guidance when we're in the streets and we're talking about a lifestyle like that. There is no guidance. There's no oracle to show you the way and kind of have your best interests in line. And there's no Neo. There's no saviors. And Neo was the savior. There's no saviors either. So you really need to disconnect from the bullshit, the matrix, you know what I mean, of how the streets is constructed. I thought that was very well written.
When he said all the jewels, or all these jewels really, came from the same chain of events, that was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because so these jewels, right, this wisdom that he's learned from being in the streets, right, these jewels, it came from the same chain of events, right? The chain of events that led to him understanding his place and where, what he's learned, right? Yep. He's also, obviously there's a play on words, which makes it super slick. A chain, jewels, right? Obviously there's the jewelry play, but these jewels came from hard lessons, hard street lessons, right? The chain of events that led there. But he also started that by saying, these guys, they don't know their God in the flesh. Dudes don't know their God in the flesh. All of this shit I'm talking about ain't got nothing to do with religion. It came from experience being in these streets. There is no God in the streets, right? No soul is what he said earlier on, Then he followed that up by saying, no grind, no shine. You got to take risks. So there's no God, there's no nothing. You had to work hard. You had to go through real shit. You had to be on alert. You had to have your automatics in the automatic. You had to have your pole to be in pole position. All these lines are related to the fact that, man, nothing was given. This came from struggle, came from pain. These jewels that I'm giving you now came from raw experience in these streets, and I had to get it out the mud, is what he's saying. Everything is tying in as well. Now, a lot of people don't have a couple of nice little lines when they make songs, but it doesn't always tie into the overall concept of saving the streets. The whole idea of this song is to really highlight why the streets need saving. You know what I mean? What happens in these streets, right? Youngins are riding with automatics and they automatic. The old dudes, the older guys that are supposed to be giving these kids guidance, who probably come from broken homes, who don't have parents in their household, they look to these older guys who are just as screwed up, if not more. A lot of times these older guys send these young guys out for crash dummy missions, right? You know, that's the new word. You know, you're a crash dummy, right? They get it. They put guns in these young dudes' hands and tell them to kill for them. So that way, you know, they're under the age of 18. I don't know what it is in the UK. They won't get felony charges. So the old guys are giving these guys bad advice, bad guidance. So the streets are all just made up of dysfunction, darkness, and there's no soul. There's no light, right? So that's kind of what he's described throughout this entire thing. And I thought he did it brilliantly and still made it listenable. Like, I still want to bob my head, and it's just listenable. It's not just sort of this art piece, which isn't bad, but he's cognizant of rhythm. I feel like regardless of what you do, whatever the subject matter that you're touching, I feel like what lyricists need to understand, guys that really have dense pens, is you can never lose sight of rhythm. Beat, you know what I'm saying? The sample that they used at the beginning of the beat, the concept of the guy saying, you know, I think what he said up top, Ryan, was, you know, you had touched on it before, you know, like, I was a successful criminal, but what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm an empty vessel. Like, I accomplished getting money in the streets, but what does that make me as a human being? It probably makes me scum, if anything. I didn't accomplish shit just because I made a lot of money selling drugs or whatever the case may be. So there's a storyline, there's a narrative that he's following, lyrically inclined, technically there. Beat, the flow was slick. He switched his flow up like 2 or 3 times. This was excellent, man. Again, y'all sleeping, man.
I'm telling you, I don't know.
Hopefully y'all wake up soon.
I don't know why Avelino is not looked at as one of your guys as greats, man, because he is dope, man. One more thing I want to touch on, man, is when he said most men that tried to make it out just make it inside. They make it inside a jail cell. That's making it out, right? Once try to make it out. The play on inside and out, but making it out of the game, out of the streets, right? End up inside. So you're still you're still wrapped up in the bullshit. So you didn't make it out. He's on Married to the Game, so forever hold your peace. That was hard, right? When people get married, they say, "Is anyone object to these two getting married?" Something along those lines. Speak now, forever hold your peace. So he kind of flipped that and said, "You're married to the game. You're married to the game. So till death do us part, basically. So forever hold your peace, forever hold your gun." And you end up making it inside, man. So it's just a beautiful way to say what we all know about the streets. You know what I mean? Just the way he wrote it, the poetry and the writing and lyricism in that was just beautiful.
Vivid imagery in this as well, which I love, right? He went into detail, the nuance in this I thought was just, is what separates him from pretty much, and him and Dave, I think, are the two guys that really give you nuance. But this dude is just super, super slick though, man. He's very, very clever in addition to everything else. So, yo, great start. We're going to get to more from the album, give us more to do from the album, but I'm glad that we did this one because I think it really painted a picture on what he's trying to accomplish with God Save the Streets. Yeah, give us more from this album, man. Salute to Avelino. You killed that, my man.
He said it was going to be hard.
Yes, he did. That's the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed that, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Also, guys, make sure y'all join Def to Radio. Become a member. Join the music community, man. You know, we do shit like this. It may not be the most mainstream thing, but it doesn't mean that it's not great. Let's restore balance in music, man. Let's get to the real shit, man. That's what we want the site to be about. Def to the Radio, to the same old, same old. Join, become a member of that family, man. The information for that will be in the description. I'm George. That's Ryan. Lost to Vegas.
We out.